welcome to the Short Vol Show. It appears I was frozen in time there for a second. Slight difficulty with the webcam. I don't know why it just froze there. Anyway, seeing weakness in the markets today is Friday, and stuff is down a little bit before the open, although coming back slightly. VIX popping above 13 briefly. Investing.com says that this has to do with Apple being lower. Apple indicated down a couple bucks, trading 91 and change right now, off from 93, where it closed yesterday. Meanwhile, several articles have been coming out over the market, reaching a spot where we're right off the all-time high, and a lot of articles coming out saying, well, maybe this isn't a good time to buy, which seems rather obvious, but I can't find anything like super big about why the markets should be negative today, so we'll have to see what happens. I think it's kind of just resting for that push to new highs. Regardless, with the right off the highs, the VIX was pretty much right off the lows for a while, getting down to the mid 11s. And yesterday and then today, it's up a little bit. Let's take a look. As far as my position goes, I did kind of mitigate my short yesterday in UVXY, and I'll talk about how I did that in a little bit. But yeah, we're seeing a little pop the last couple of days in the VIX. You can see, you can't see because I'm in the way. Let me move myself out of the way here. Okay, now you can see the sort of little up move over a couple of days back up to 13 range, but still, in a big downtrend here. So I don't expect this up move to continue. I think this is just kind of noise while the market rests before taking the next move up. Meanwhile, very exciting news. I got, verified by, well, here's one thing. Tastyworks sent me this little kit with all kinds of cool swag. I've got my Tastyworks cherry pin and stickers and stuff. So that was very nice of them. Up and coming, something having with Tastyworks. That's a little hint for it there. But then StockTwits very kindly verified my account and gave me the little yellow check next to my name, which is very nice of them. It should help expand the viewership, which is always good. And I had been reaching out, if you're wondering how I was able to achieve this with not as many followers as some other people, I have been reaching out to the management since pretty much the day I started on StockTwits, and sort of begging and pleading them for the yellow check, because it was something that was important to me. StockTwits has always been an important spot for me to hang out and talk to people. And if you look, maybe I have less followers than some, but if you look, I have 13,000 times that I have posted. And none of those were done by some bot or something like that. That's all my 13,000 different ideas that I put up on StockTwits. So it's an achievement. It's exciting. I will be having interviewing somebody from StockTwits soon to talk about the platform and how far it's come in the last couple of years. We did have the big format change about 6 months ago, which at the time, a lot of times when there's a format change, it people don't like it because they don't like change. And I certainly didn't like the format change when it first happened. It was very difficult for me because it was harder to display messages basically. But now I'm completely used to it. I remember we were looking back and trying to figure out, there was a way you could use the old format for a while and then it switched. But anyway, so that's that. So thank you, StockTwits, for recognizing me. Now I'm going to try to parlay this into getting the all important Twitter verification and Facebook one. But in the meantime, thanks a lot, StockTwits. Okay, I wanted to look at the VIX term structure now. And as you could imagine, with us backing off a little bit as far as the down move on the VIX, contango is in a little bit, but not really significantly. We're showing here just under 7% contango, and this is going to cause these things to continue to decay. Even if we get if we get a up day or two and then back down again, it actually can be beneficial for VIX shorts, because that way we're getting the benefit of a beta slippage, as well as we have the best beta slippage usually comes from like an up day and then followed by a down day, followed by an up day, etc. So if we're just creeping down the whole time, it's not as good conditions to get decay from beta slippage as it is if we get like up days here and there. So this is not necessarily a bad thing. I did want to mention Seth's article, which came out 2 days ago, talking about the market and valuations. When will the bull market end? What are sort of some metrics that we can look at to evaluate whether this market is getting tired or basically going to go down soon? And there's some great analysis of several different things in here. The one that was sort of sticking out to me, which I was talking to him online about, was the PE ratios still seem very reasonable in many of these issues. He identified Facebook as an equity that he thought had specifically had upside. So check out that article on phenomgroup.com. I like this group because this website, because there's not the because there is a small fee to post. It keeps the conversation serious, and nobody who trades is going to be have problems coming up with $2 a month or whatever it is. But it keeps the conversation serious, which is can't really be said for many other forums and groups. So check out phenomgroup.com when you get a chance. And then I wanted to respond to a viewer who was asking me to talk about portfolio management and what I look for in an investment portfolio. And I just wanted to qualify that by saying I am not that's not my area of expertise, portfolio management. My specific situation is different from most, and so personally I'm probably not the person to follow. I talk a lot about how people should learn to save money. The first step for getting a financial portfolio is learning to live below your means, and that's a huge barrier to most people, is learning to live below your means. So if you can learn how to save money in a organized fashion every month, save some money, that you're 80% of the way home. And a lot of financial advisors and people take that for granted, that people know how to save money, but it's something that you have to learn to do. There's not really adequate financial education in school, I don't think. So, learn to save money. It's almost secondary learning how to invest that money after, in my opinion. And then as far as long-term savings, you want a certain amount of it in a spot that isn't going anywhere, whether that be under your mattress or in some sort of bond fund, but somewhere where it's completely safe. The average, you can kind of get basic strategies from something like Money Magazine, which would say like, and basic theory is, a certain percentage of your money in bonds, a certain percentage in stocks. And I have a strong feeling that most fund managers can't beat the S&P 500. So it's real simple to put a lot of money into something like the SPY, the SPY ETF, and since most people can't beat that are actively running money, you're gonna do okay. If the market goes up, you're gonna make money. If the market goes down, you're not gonna make money. But on average, the markets have gone up and people have made money. So we talk about all this VIX stuff, and it's fun to trade it, but it's not something where you want to put the majority of your savings because it's risky stuff. And we saw people, blow out in in Volmageddon on February 7th, and I worry sometimes that people come on, maybe watch my channel, and think, oh, okay, well, I'm going to put all my money shorting the VIX, and that is not the way to go. This is a risky trade. A lot of people, as the strategy for this trade, have most of their money on the sidelines and just a little bit of money in this trade. Even beyond that, long-term savings, I would recommend being very conservative with it, because at the end of the day, you work hard for your money, or it's somebody who helped you accumulate it, worked hard for it, and you want to hold on to it as best you can. Okay, so let's just talk for a second about strategies with UVXY. I did sell some stuff. Last we were talking, I think I had bought some December 9 puts in UVXY, and what I did was I went ahead and I sold some front month 9 puts against them, so effectively making a time spread, which has positive theta. So essentially, I bought some puts. UVXY went down a bit. I sold some other front month puts against them, and so now I collect a few bucks every day, and my position is not so short. I'm still short a little bit. I still make money as UVXY goes down, but not as much as before. And instead, I collect some money. And my strategy is basically like selling some of the 9 puts against my position now with UVXY around 10, 11. If it sort of drifts down to 9, then by the time it actually gets to 9, the puts that I sold will have expired worthless, and I will have collected some income on them and helped finance the other puts that I bought for December. So my strategy is to sell the 9 puts against the 9 puts I bought in December, and the reason I'm doing that is because I feel like the puts I sold will go out worthless in a few weeks and will help finance the 9 puts, and then these 9 puts can continue to increase in value as UVXY moves lower. So that's a basic strategy. The ones that I did sell were the 22 June puts. I sold some of those, I think, for 16 cents. And then the 29 June puts, I sold some of those for 28 cents. So, kind of low values, but it's just doing that also acknowledges that we are at kind of a low in the VIX right now, and I don't anticipate UVXY like just quickly moving through the 9 strike. I think it's going to kind of bounce around this area for a while, and then move through the 9 strike. But the farthest out puts I sold expire in 21 days, so I'm giving it 3 weeks to bounce around 10, 11, and then move through the 9 strike after that. So we'll see what happens. But that's my strategy right now. As we look, E-minis down 8, the Dow down 86, and Dow futures down 86, NASDAQ down 50. And let's take a look at investing.com for a second. Once again, there's not a whole lot of news out. Oh, the other thing I wanted to mention was in the news. Let's take a look at exciting moment as President Trump does pardon Alice Johnson with the help of Kim Kardashian. Now, I think that's actually a really good thing the president did. And I'm looking at this headline right now, which is just news to me. Live, Bourdain hangs self in hotel. Let's take a look at that. Anthony Bourdain dead at 61 of suicide, which is really sad. Was a very interesting guy. I like to watch his food shows. Suicide never makes sense, and it's affected me through my best friend from trading, who those of you who know me from the floor will know what I'm talking about. So that's really sad. Anthony Bourdain dead at 61. That's too bad. All right, folks. Well, thanks for watching the show today, and I will be back at you soon. Yesterday I was off, but we may have to make an extra show this weekend to make up for it.